All right, we are recording. Tomac, how you doing, mate?
Hey Daniel, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing good. How much as weather is, and today we have a good weather in Warsaw.
Yeah, you're sitting outside here in a cafe. Like this is one of the first times I think I've had someone sitting outside enjoying the sunshine and just making it happen.
I hope it's gonna be a typical day of April, or maybe not. But this month in Poland is like this. That tomorrow we can have very cold rain, so you can never expect. You don't know if the forecasts are true or not, especially
Well,
in April.
nice for you to be out in nature rather than stuck in a studio, head down editing or sending out emails trying to sell tickets for the European Halving Party.
I'm spending so much time at the computer recently, so at least I try to change my environment. Cafe, cinema, house.
Yeah. Well, I have to apologize. Lauren's not here. She's on a lesson currently with her
What lesson is it?
it is a grammar lesson that she's doing with a company called Outschool, which actually another homeschooling family that are coming to Warsaw, the Weeks family, they use as well, and it's gaining a lot of traction. So we use a mix of Kubrio and Outschool for the kids' online
So
education.
that's remote, right?
Yeah,
And they
location
have
independent.
one-on-one meeting with video meeting with the teacher, or
It's there's like anywhere between 4 and 8 people on the class at the same time with a teacher, and yeah, like an hour long lesson. So you build relationships and you learn at the same
I've
time.
heard that you are a good orange pillar of parents of those kids. I
Yeah.
met someone, I don't remember who was it, and I asked like typical story at the Bitcoin conference. So how did you learn about Bitcoin? Right, and this guy, I think it was Nathan Day,
Nathan,
or
yes.
he said that, oh, my kids are learning going to the same class as Daniel Prince's kids, so that's
Yeah.
how I learned about Bitcoin. This guy was always like in a cloakroom, always mentioning this. So I had to dig it.
Yeah, and look how far he came. I mean, now he went from interested about Bitcoin. I'm gonna have a chat with this guy. He sent me a DM. We did a Zoom call. Like 3 months later, he's like starting BTC maps from the front row in Riga. He's like, we need Bitcoiners. Yeah, so he's been an incredible success story and a real asset to the space.
You must be proud of it too.
Yeah, great to see it.
Congrats.
Great to see it
Yes.
when people take that initial conversation way further than you could ever have imagined. Because what is it, like 1 in 1,000 times that happens?
Mm, I last weekend I had my friends over, and one of them is a Bitcoiner friend from Bitcoin community. And like after a few drinks and discussions with other guys, he was like, "Man, like your friends are Bitcoiners." For him, it wasn't usual. And like they're just my friends, right? But when I owe them for a beer, for example, I can just send them sats back.
Yeah,
So very often they have some leftovers, and they'll eventually learn more and use it.
yeah. Well, that's what we're here to. Well, I would love to know actually your Bitcoin rabbit hole story because I don't think well we've never had really the opportunity to sit down and even really get to know each other because we always run into each other at the conferences and each of us so busy all of the time.
It will
There's
probably be the same in Warsaw, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be the same in Warsaw for sure. So yeah, I mean, where do you come from? Where did you grow up, and how did you? What were you doing before you found Bitcoin?
Uh, I grew up in a rural Poland on the east border, close to Belarus. So not much of trade there, traffic and investments. Mm. I was always a curious kid, a bit rebellious, and like when you're a teenager and when you're like developing your worldview, it's becoming concretized. You can name it, you can find reasons and logic in it, and you build your coherent system on the world. Um, well, I started becoming like skeptic about mainstream, and I
Hmm.
think the first such thing that I remember like from culture that kind of influences you was Orwell. I think reading George Orwell books made me like, all right, guys, like there is like something rebellious, like this. the state is lying to us. It's happening now, but on a smaller scale. I also remember watching this documentary in the early internet days called Zeitgeist. It was not on YouTube yet. It was like three conspiracy theories, which, some of them, some of them, they had, grain of truth. One of them was, well, it was not a conspiracy theory, but it was presented as such. It was explaining the Federal Reserve System, the fractional reserve. And I became like, okay, central banks need to be destroyed. I was libertarian. I became libertarian then. Then Ayn Rand kind of synthesized worldview on various things. So I think since then I call myself an objectivist, if speaking of like philosophy. And I became like libertarian activist. This was my career. I joined some libertarian associations, started organizing events, conferences, libertarian soccer tournaments or chess tournaments, started my NGO. We organize every second year Weekend of Capitalism conference. I also happened to open a libertarian bar in Warsaw, which we can visit as well at the Halving party. So did some project management in like this area of mainly Polish and European libertarians. So naturally, Bitcoin was on my radar, right? Also, like watching the side guys and being anti-Fed. I think I heard first about Bitcoin in 2013. Like, okay, there is libertarian money, there is like internet money that we can use, and state doesn't know that you have it, and you can exchange it. And like Hayek was writing that that nation should be separate, money should be separated from state. But it was, I tried some dark markets, and of course I lost what I had. Some people, there was some guy at some libertarian meetup who was like giving away Bitcoins on a paper wallets, like 0.01, I think, Bitcoin. But then I like kind of forgot about it. Like it was on the side. Yeah, there is Bitcoin, but there is other crypto, and there's technology and AI. So I'm a proponent of technology, and I believe in development, that proper culture can drive it. And if you have free markets, also technology will go forward, and our quality of life will go forward. But then I think around 2019, some Polish kind of OGs suggested me that I should invite to this Weekend of Capitalism Libertarian Conference that we did with friends that we do. I should invite Saifeddin Amus, because he wrote this super book. There is this new book, and we should translate it in Polish. So we also partnered with some friends to publish Bitcoin Standard in Polish. There is already 4 Polish books that my NGO has partnered with publishing, with Freedom Publishing House. They're also coming to the Halving party. So there is like a nice network. There is nice network of organizations and groups in Polish like free market movement that I'm a big part of, with my friends as well. So now, after this 2019, I learned more about Bitcoin, started digging it, and realized that all of the stuff that we have been doing so far, it was so ineffective. Like you don't see much fruit of when you organize the biggest libertarian conference in Poland. Okay, people come, people learn, there is some network, but any outcome of some economic seminars or some online schools, any educational activism, the effects of it, you might never see in like maybe 20, 30 years if you have good chances. If in the between there will be no some, I don't know, anti-freedom leader or virus or something. And with Bitcoin, you have the tool that practically gives freedom to people that use it, that teaches them about freedom or incentivizes them to learn about, okay, how money works, how state works, is coercion good or bad. And we realize that, okay, this is the tool that is most efficient in the fight for freedom. And since then, my activism became mostly Bitcoinish. I happen to work at Albi also, doing marketing there with a great team at Albi. We organized this Bitcoin Film Festival last year with other Bitcoin maxis that I know from Bitcoin meetups organized. We realized, okay, there is this Weekend of Capitalism conference coming. Let's do a big Bitcoin Film Fest as a side event to this. And it was last year. It was a satellite event to Weekend of Capitalism, and that's how Bitcoin Film Fest was born. So that's one of my main focuses as for now. Yeah.
Mate, so hang on a sec. How old are you at the moment?
32.
So back in 2013, when you first discovered Bitcoin, what age were you then?
21.
That
Well,
is
discovered. I don't
very
think it was
young.
discovery. It was rather like noticing it happens. It exists.
Right.
Then I was using it maybe 2014, 15. Yeah.
So how did you start reading? Were you reading Orwell because of school? I know sometimes people have been given these books at school to read, which is kind of weird because uh, do you remember how that book ended up in your hand?
I think it was on a school list of obligatory books that you have to read.
Man,
I
that's
was I was an avid reader, right? But
mm.
I think particularly this one, it just told us to read it. They just told us to read it, and it's you cannot pinpoint that. That's the one reason why, right? One why you, I think it would happen regardless of Orwell, but then also Aldous Huxley. Those are the books that in Polish system you have to read when you're in high school. I don't know. Is it the same in UK?
I was talking to my wife about this the other day. My daughter is studying an English A level at the moment, and she's reading An Inspector Calls. And I never read that book, and it got me to thinking, what books were we reading in school? And I just remember Of Mice and Men, and my wife remembered a different one. Um, I can't remember what it was, uh, and but I do know, like back in the day, like Animal Farm would be part of the curriculum, uh, and you think, huh, what why are those books, part of the curriculum? Because obviously you have state education, right? Is fully socialist. And it turns out the Inspector Calls was written by a full-on socialist, and that there's little anti-capitalist things in there, which I had no idea about. I've just been listening to my daughter discuss the book with her online tutor. Yeah, so it's like, why would a socialist um, system push you towards reading these books when it's like completely, it's obviously blown open your mind, and now you hate the system and you want to challenge it. And I wonder how many other people that happens to.
It's not that there is a system is represented by one person with some malicious intentions, right? There is like a history of development of, let's say, Polish curricula, and there is like various ministers of educations. One of them was right wing, another one was Christian, another one was anti-communist, and maybe they wanted to put Orwell there. I don't know how it developed to be here, but of course we have some these books. We have some socialist classics, I guess, too. I guess they want to. Also, there is no day, but there is rather variety of topics, at least in Polish curricula. But I am also not a fan of this. I'm however, I'm like fascinated by those influences, those images that you remember as a kid or a junior, that kind of ignite some spark in your thought, in your development. I remember now when you mentioned Animal Farm, I vaguely remember when I was a kid, before I read it, I remembered it as a cartoon. That there was some creepy cartoon, I think was done by Brits as well, and I saw it like late night. I entered like TV room, right? My father was watching something, and there was a cartoon, and it was like 10 p.m. And I'm like, and I didn't like these images, right? I thought like, and my dad said, okay, no, this is not for kids. And I remembered Animal Farm when I was reading the book. Okay, I think this is the thing that I saw as a kid. So I'm not sure. Also, like you cannot pinpoint the direct influence, but I think development of a young man, young woman is consisting of these images, and it's very important what we feed children at this development stage. What images, what ideas, what they remember, and maybe this event was kind of impactful on my life and development. Maybe if it would be, I don't know what what could it be. I don't want to imagine myself in very bad situations, but maybe I would be a different person, right? When it would be a different cartoon.
Yeah, 100%. Well, can I ask you, how do you, because the word libertarian, it triggers a lot of people still to this day. and it's much more of a I think in Europe, many people think of like libertarian as, oh, it's, yeah, it's those crazy gun-toting Americans, right? Like that run around and just want freedom and whatever else. There's such a little understanding of what the actual like definition of the or the ethos of that group of people represents. How do you try and explain libertarianism to people, especially like in Europe where we've not been really too exposed to it?
There is very various shades of libertarianism, but the general one, I guess, would be to say that voluntary cooperation between human beings is the proper one, and anything that coerces it, it should be a third side. It, by definition, is bad, and state is acting as this third side that introduces coercion to voluntary interactions between human beings. And capitalism, free market, I don't know, libertarian system is based on only voluntary interactions between people. And of course, there has to be some protection. We call it law. Maybe there should be an organization if we want to apply this protection of these basic rights and to not to protect ourselves from those that want to introduce coercion, not the state, but I don't know, robbers, murderers, bad people, right? So some people call it state, this organization that protects rights. Some libertarians call it defense agency. I guess it can be, it's up to debate whether these libertarian ideas should be manifested in anarchy or small state. Uh, I think practical would be small state. Mm, but if you want to be very rationalistic about it, then probably most libertarians are anarchists. But yeah, I would define libertarian as the one that put voluntarism as a basis of human interaction.
Right. Okay. So that must be interesting when you have these conferences or meetups, or you've got a big group of them together, people like-minded people, like libertarian-minded people. How easy is it to then broach the subject of Bitcoin? Is that like an easy sell, or is there still a huge amount of baggage to get through to help them understand, what the everything that we've come to understand, like freedom money?
Man, I don't know why, and I'm a bit fed up with it, but it's surprisingly hard.
Hmm.
Like one would think that uh, libertarians are should be the most perceptive ground for Bitcoin. I don't know, not the circles that I'm in. Polish libertarians are, well, we are trying to orange pill them, but very often when I see new people coming to Bitcoin, it's not like they are mostly libertarians or that there is more of them than in average of a society. Is people coming to Bitcoin are from everywhere, and Bitcoin becomes this force that teaches them about liberty, that incentivizes them to become libertarians. But so Bitcoin libertarianizes people more than libertarians coming to becoming Bitcoiners. I don't know if I explain it properly, but I would have thought that, yeah, that libertarians, especially if like they explicitly say that they care for liberty and they go for conferences and they engage in some libertarian associations, that they would be interested in it. But for some reasons, I don't know, maybe for the fad that Bitcoin was getting in Poland in 2017, 18 at the peak of its popularity, maybe because of some, maybe it takes one leader, maybe it takes some kind of Javier Milei to just put some ideas to the populum. But I'm a bit fed up with it. I guess it's maybe it's something else in human spirit that makes them more receptive to Bitcoin,
Hmm.
something else than makes people decide on their ideas, but also mm, on their like world politics outlook. But I kind of lost my mind, lost my thought here.
Yeah. No. So, because you said, how did you phrase it again? It's voluntary, um,
Interaction.
sorry,
Interaction.
voluntary interaction without a third party, coercing or manipulating that cooperation. And when you look at fiat currency, it's like yeah, two libertarian guys could get together and make a voluntary. They could cooperate and say, "I've got this car. I want to sell this car, and you want to buy it from me." But then you're using the medium of exchange that is complete and utter total manipulation and coercion. Like it's like, guys, stop. Like
Well, yeah,
use Bitcoin.
you can use something else, right?
Yes, you could use something else, 100%. But like to claim to be libertarian, but then use
And then using the tokens of power for the state that you want to abolish, something is wrong with it, right?
yeah, you're
You,
perpetually feeding the beast by using that medium of exchange.
maybe some people don't realize that using Bitcoin is it's not only practical choice, but it's a moral choice. That the, what money you use is actually a moral decision. Is it the medium of exchange, power, value that is designed by a state that makes it stronger, that is produced by state, or the one that was designed by free people and explicitly is designed for them as a proper anti-state medium of exchange, value, power?
I mean, well, fiat
It's
currency,
which team do you use, right? Which team do you
yeah,
choose?
well, it's amoral, right? Fiat currency, immoral, whatever word you want to use. Like the morals behind that unit of account and that unit of exchange, medium of exchange, excuse me, is so deceitful. It's so like
It's this choice is to probably on the same category as, are we using oil from Russia or from Arabic kings? It's probably the same type of choice. Just people don't realize it. That the fact what money you use is what powers do you support? The powers of institutionalized coercion or powers of voluntary free people?
interesting, mate.
I yeah, I'm maybe too much driven with some activism with this disappointment in libertarians that very often they just want to feel right about things, and they are right, they're maybe logically right about things, but I don't see that in this group there is more, you know, freedom fire in their heart than in any other group of people. Except for Bitcoiners. I'm super happy to find out, since I'm in like 3-4 years in this community, that it's more honest. The ideas that we have on t-shirts, we have in our hearts. When I was going to objectivist or libertarian conferences, I didn't feel that much of integrity between what's in your soul, what are motivations of you, and what you actually claim that you believe in. But yeah, everyone is different. So.
That's interesting. Let's touch on that because I say to people all the time, get to a conference. You have to go to a Bitcoin conference. You until you've been to one, you cannot explain the feeling to somebody, and they're never going to believe you either. It's like I suppose people have told me that have done psychedelic trips. It's like, Dan, until you go and do it yourself, there's no way I can explain it to you. Like there's just no way in hell. So it's interesting that you say that. So you'd go along to a libertarian conference. Well, yeah, let's compare. So your first Bitcoin only conference, where was that? What happened? How did it make you feel?
The first one was, I think, the one that I organized, the Bitcoin Film Fest, and it made me feel great.
Yeah.
So we had a good guests, good people. Then I think then first other one was BTC Prague, and this is huge and a magnificent event. I don't know how to. I also don't want to go too far with it. Like I can see that, of course, like in every group, there is plenty of people that takes plenty. There is some group of people that for them being Bitcoiner is maybe being more as part of a community of people that you agree with, that you share values. And of course, it can take some maybe religious shades, maybe just somebody needs some identity. But belief and honesty to these ideas is definitely higher than in other communities that I found. Mm, yeah, but that's how I logi between psychedelics and Bitcoin, that you cannot explain it before you try it. Mm. And it's not only about Bitcoin conferences in people, but falling down this rabbit hole. And even you can be on yourself and still studying, not going to any meetup, and still studying, learning what Bitcoin can do, how it works, how it evolved over time. Mm. It's already very eye-opening, right?
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's been the journey of a lifetime so far for me, and the most intellectually stimulating period of my life, for without a shadow of a doubt. And just trying to help people understand what this could mean for them, for their families, for their future, is it's been very, very rewarding in many different ways.
I want to give back with one question because many many times in this series you also I guess answered already how did you come to Bitcoin, but can you pinpoint some of these early childhood memories like I did earlier that you think that stayed in a background of your mind and somehow brought you maybe to Bitcoin?
Yeah, I love those ones. What predisposed us to finding Bitcoin. That's the kind of the way I look at it. And one thing that really came to the front of my mind when I was going through this, a few instances. It wasn't not when I was a child, but I would have been like 28, and my wife Claire and I were getting married, and I needed to go and get my hands on a bunch of cash, which I'd been saving since I was like 14. For the big day, just put a bit aside, some put your pocket money aside, and we'll top it up with birthdays and Christmas money and whatever else. But one day you'll need this money for a car or a house or a marriage or something. And I wanted to get my hands on £10,000 out of that savings back. When was this? 20 years ago. And sure enough, I went into the bank account, the building society, to access my bank account and take that money out, so I could go in and pay all the bills. You got to pay the car guy, the flower guy, the cake person, florist, whatever. And they said, okay, yeah, where's your identification? Gave them my passport. And the lady called head office and got off the phone and said, no, you're not allowed to take the cash. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why not? Here's my bank account. Here's my address, proof of address. Here's my passport. And she said, no. Head office said, we're not allowed to give you the money. I was like, completely dumbfounded. So without knowing that Bitcoin was going to come knocking into my life a little bit further on, that moment predisposed me to understand, not your keys, not your coins, because I could not get access to the money that I had worked and saved for since I was a young lad. So that is one very key, important moment in my life that helped me when I was going down the Bitcoin rabbit hole journey.
Something earlier from childhood?
I'm trying to remember if there were any.
Maybe it doesn't have to be about Bitcoin, but about yourself, about like if I think that when I was a kid, there is one memory I have. In a kindergarten, they were like assigning us like little emojis, little signs next to each of kids, like in a cloakroom, his hanger, right? How do you call it?
Yeah, peg, or where you
Bag,
hang
yeah,
your
yeah.
coat on your bag.
I remember vividly that my my buddy, another kid, he had a snail, and I had a rocket, and I was like, I have rocket, I have power, right? I have energy, and he's steady, he's slow. I don't know where he is in his life, but I believe this rocket had kind of like influence on me. Like I got interested in space, in physics. You know, I was reaching out to books about cosmos in this kindergarten because I had rocket on my peg, right? I think it was that's why, right? I couldn't name the reason back then, but I'm fascinated but by how those little events, those little nudges from your childhood, from your early ages, early years, can influence you.
That's amazing, mate. So you're reading freaking rocket ship books at the age of 6 because of the
Well, not
sticker on
rocket
your
ship
peg.
books, but then you know, Toy
Yeah,
Story,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that is very cool.
That's not a rocket science, though.
And now, of course, you're on your way to the moon with Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, maybe.
So I'll think about if there's any more of those memories, and I'll get back to you on that because that's very interesting. And if I remember, I'll come and talk to you about it in Warsaw. But we should talk about the European Halving Party. Like it's happening, and you know everybody should take note. Like it's actually happening as a halving party, not just calling itself a halving party and then happening 2 or 3 weeks before the actual halving.
Yes, looks like the halving will happen exactly at the peak of our partying.
Yeah.
So super excited about it.
Are we
We
still
actually
looking at
chose
20th of April? Hang on, I'll call it up. One sec. Let's see.
the difficulty adjustment is, I guess, tomorrow.
Uh
So
huh.
you need to take that into, or today. So it should be today. I'm not sure if it's past. What are you checking on? I'm usually using time chain calendar.
I'm just looking at Bitbo right now. So we got blocks to retarget. No, that can't be right.
On time chain calendar, you can pick your. Okay, we are past the difficulty adjustment, and
Oh,
now it looks like again April 20 with 10-minute blocks. The difficulty adjustment was almost 4%, but it's gonna be morning. It was supposed to be evening. Now it looks like it's gonna be Saturday morning if the block
uh-huh.
is 10-minute long. Well, we have to be prepared
An
for
early
each
breakfast.
scenario. Breakfast or maybe late party.
Well, it's
Yeah,
all
that
about being there at the block, right? 840,000. That's
yeah, it will be
that.
420 at some point on Earth. 420, 420. And the price will be 69,000. It's actually, we are living in this meme universe. And that was the reason why we chose this date.
Mhm.
Early in June last year, when we thought, okay, when we should do the next Bitcoin Film Festival, let's do it at the halving. It should be next year, right? When will be the halving? It's fourth halving on block 840,000. 840 in half is 420. 420, 2024. Looks great. For halving, 840, 420. It should be then. So I booked the venue and kept the date as it is. And looks like, yeah, we pinpointed the moment.
And did you
I mean,
limit the
Bitcoin
ticket? Did
pinpointed
you limit the
itself.
tickets to 420 as well? Was that another thing you did?
420 people maximum, yes. We are not there yet, but very soon we should close the signups, yes.
So how many tickets left?
I think it's like over 100.
Okay, excellent. So we've still got time. We've still got time to shill. I'll get this one out as soon as I can. So people still have about a week left to get their
Sure,
tickets.
thank you. Anyone who's coming April 20th and April 18th and 19th and 21st in Warsaw, central of Poland, we are doing the Bitcoin Film Festival, right? And the halving party is the extension of the Bitcoin Film Fest. So there is like various parties, workshops, side activities, and great time space to network and to visit this nice city.
You've got the retro buses. I'm looking forward to that. Right? You doing? There's a tour around the city.
Yes, there is this huge all the buses with a guide. I think on Friday afternoon, there is a group of 40 people coming for a tour. We have a laser tag, we have shooting range, Polish lunch, bowling tournament, some competitions. Of course, the halving celebration. So we gotta be together. That when a block is mined, we'll drink a glass of orange juice. We do the halving games, and not only us, but some other halving party organizers are also we try to align. We have this halving party organizers Telegram secret group, and we try to align on a few things. Some halving parties already happened, some are still to happen. We're aligning to do something together, like maybe not together, but I was trying to find what is the thing that people do at halving, right? You watch Memple and what else, right? There were only 3 halvings so far, so there was not yet, nothing has developed that, okay, this is what you do at halving, right? But we are in a good position to start doing something. And one of these things is we call halving games. Some of the halving parties, we also do it. Little contests to have classification, to have halving champion of rock, paper, scissors, or maybe some short run. And a toast, because you cannot count down 10, 9, 8. In Spain, they eat grapes when they count down to New Year's. At halving, it's kind of like a new year. It's the start of a new era, but we cannot do countdown. We'll be waiting, though, with a glass of orange juice each, so we have something to drink at the toast.
Which is orange, obviously. So, and we, don't forget, the last halving, we were all locked down, man.
We were, yeah, oh, yes, true.
Shocking.
True.
We've only had 3 halvings, and one of those we were all in lockdown. Unbelievable.
It was online participation. I was watching some stream back then.
I think I was on a call. It was very close to. I was doing the safeydane.com course, and we were all on a call, just like hanging out. And we're like, oh, by the way, like halving's coming up really soon. Like the block is almost here, and like Safe's giving lectures and stuff. So it was so that was cool. That was nice. But yeah, we need to, as a community now, figure out these little I know what's the word I'm looking for.
Traditions. Yes, some rituals.
Rituals. Yeah, exactly. I was trying to find the most simple word of putting it across. But yeah, it's going to be great fun, man.
It's every 4 years. It's hard to test it every year.
It's going to be great just to be around other Bitcoiners in person when that block drops. Okay, so who's going to mine it? That's the thing.
I actually started a little prediction market on one of these sites that you can predict future, not for money, but for prestige points. And yeah, I think Foundry is winning now, predictions. Right. But of course, it's random. Let's hope it's going to be Ocean maybe, or some individual anonymous miner.
Yeah, some solo miner.
Let's see. Everybody would like to mine it. So probably some people with old miners would also, okay, let me plug in just for this few hours. I hope this last block will come quickly, because it will be quite difficult to keep audience in suspension, for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Let's say that we are in a cinema at the film fest, and the halving has to break some of the films. So we are waiting. The last block is mined, and then you need to wait 30 minutes. And what? You have to speak. John Nakamoto promised to help me with, keeping the audience engaged during halving moment. We also got a talk, Daniel. When you want to MC some of these places after the call, I guess we need to.
You tell me where to be and when. Don't worry. I'm there for you. Just let me know what to do.
And your daughter is emceeing the junior stage. We have junior cinema on Sunday at 11.
Okay,
with cartoons,
excellent.
Bitcoin cartoons. And Sophia is emceeing here.
That's great. Yeah, the cartoons, I'm looking forward to those. They're going to be fun. What other films do you need to show?
Well, we have over 12 titles, I think, and 5 of them are premieres. So we are premiering one of Polish production, documentary about Karl Menger notes on the margin. We are premiering the documentary from BTC Pay server with the title "My Trust in You is Broken." It's on Friday afternoon. Then on Saturday we show a few shorts. We show Death Athletic. We show also Bitcoiners on Friday. Other titles that have been released already. But in the evening on Saturday we have the premiere of Dirty Coin by Alana. So everyone waits for that. It's on 420. And right after party, after movie, we start the European halving party. Parties are on both days. We're also showing one of the films is totally not from Bitcoiner. It's not about Bitcoin, but it kind of applies to the notion of Bitcoin cinema. And if you come over and watch it, well, I hope it sparks some discussion uh, to see if people agree why. But we are showing it on midnight from Friday to Saturday. We put it in agenda also for the reason because this film is kind of it has midnightish vibe, but also we want to be ready for halving, so we want to have people and engaged. Maybe let's show some late film because if halving happens at 2 a.m., then we are fine. We are right after watching Gods of Their Own Religion. And on Sunday we are showing those cartoons. Some of them also premiere. Adventures of Jonathan. It's a cartoon it's the adaptation of a book for kids. Adventures of Jonathan Gullible. There is no Bitcoin in it, but it's a very pro-freedom cartoon. There is also a premiere of Maxis Club, this legendary comic creator. Maxis Club, they are doing animated series out of this comic book. It's not ready yet, but you will audience can see what's happening, what's coming.
Mate, awesome. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. And that's one thing as well, people should understand. It is a family friendly event as well, because I know we're not the only family going. You've got RV, he's bringing along his son, and Ben and Eddie are bringing their daughter along as well.
Yeah,
So
there
it's
is
going to
few
be
Polish kids. We do a bowling tournament for them, for all of us. Rock paper scissors tournament. Uh, for kids also we will have a gaming lounge. So Halving Championship in Chain Duel will happen there.
yeah.
Also, also a game Satman and Zappy Bird. Uh, Also, we'll try to have some coins to be found at the venue by kids. And there will be rabbits to be painted. So, yeah, guys, all age are welcome. We should celebrate halving together with yeah, adults, old kids.
Yeah,
You
looking
bring your
forward to it.
pets if you can.
And the last thing I was going to say about that final block, I hope that there's no, like Mara, mind that block with the
With
M in
M.
it. Yeah.
Hmm. Why?
I'm hoping they're not going to pull some kind of stunt on block 840,000 and do something like that.
Why is it wrong?
It, it should be. Are you getting into like the spam inscription thing?
No, no. I saw this M thing, right, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good, that's cool. I don't understand why if is it wrong for Bitcoin or
Well,
I don't,
yeah, the way I see it, that it just opens up a whole door of, you could now have companies pay specifically to have, like, you could have the Nike swoosh mined into a block, for example. And that for me is like, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to fix the money, fix the world, not open up the blockchain to be like an advertising billboard for corporate interests.
uh, or maybe somebody will write somehow with these pixels, I know, Satoshi message or some, keep keep your keys, make your backup, run your node.
There could be something. There might even be a little message in there from Satoshi himself. Who knows?
I was surprised to see that there is. I was like exploring mempool lately and looked at the Genesis blog, and I was surprised to see that not many, not that many people sent some Sats as a donation to Satoshi to his first address. That Genesis block was mined. There was just maybe 3 transactions, only 3 incoming transactions there. Uh, Maybe somebody will send from this blog and give to Satoshi.
Hmm. Interesting thought, mate. Interesting thought. Like you say, we're here to build traditions, right?
We are in good position. I also see some analogies with Greek Olympics between halving and look. Greeks had their event every 4 years. It was it was that new era of their calendar. It was the event that was marking their calendar. It was celebration of Greek civilization. And similar with halving, we have it every 4 years. It's a celebration of our civilization, and it's marking our Bitcoin calendar. That's why we also do these halving games. Greeks were running marathon. We wanted to run half marathon, but looks like our half marathon will be half marathon.
Well, now Marathon might end up mining that block, right?
Mm-hmm. Then maybe they also took a look at this analogy.
With your Greek analogy here, like that would even make more sense. It doesn't end when you start digging into the numbers and everything. It's the every 2016 blocks, right? And then well, why would it be that? And then you reverse the numbers to 6102. You're like, oh, hang on,
Oh,
no
okay,
way, no way, is
okay.
that a
I didn't
thing?
hear this one.
Oh yeah, yes. There's um there's all of these little clues, and Satoshi's birthday, so-called birthday, being the 5th of April, and it was the 5th of April 1933 that FDR signed the Executive Order 6102. You're like, yeah, no, really? All of these little clues, do they all lead somewhere, or are they all just coincidence?
And now 420, 420.
Yeah.
And it would be funny if price would be at 69,000.
And then the 21 million, why 21 million?
Why?
And do you know there is a historical reference to um, Hitler actually imprisoned one of the Rothschild family in Germany for his involvement in the banking system and whatever else, and he negotiated his release, and the price was 21 million dollars or Deutschmarks or whatever. And you're like, no, seriously, it can't be.
Okay, is there no more stuff that was bought for 21 millions in history?
Oh, I'm sure there's tons and tons and tons of it. But the fact that it was a Rothschild who was obviously very involved with the development of the Federal Reserve Act is
Mm.
very telling. Yeah, it certainly looks as though Satoshi was a lover of history. Let's put it that way.
Well, if you build something and you have opportunity and you believe it's something for ages and you have the opportunity to hide there some hidden message, yes, I would do it as well. When I need to lie on some websites, well, I don't have to tell the truth there. But when they ask me for birthday, well, I also tend not to use random ones, just for fun.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, let's ask you the final question and see where this takes us. If you had
What
one
is it?
last orange pill left to give to somebody, who would you give it to and why?
Oh man, that's a. I forgot you are asking this one at your episode. One last in my lifetime, so it has to be a live person, right?
Yeah, could be. I guess if you had a time travel machine, you could go back, give it to someone who's already died.
Well, before Bitcoin happened, I like to wonder whether Ayn Rand would be Bitcoiner,
Yeah.
because today objectivists and like Ayn Rand Institute and those people that follow her thought, they're more of a gold bags, or they don't care.
I mean, the whole Gulch
I
thing,
think
you would imagine she would be, right?
she would be Maxi. She would be toxic Maxi, like knowing her style of expression. Who I would give it to? Okay, you can cut the silence because I got a thought. Think.
I think I'll leave the pause in. It's beautiful.
I I guess it would be Jimmy Wales from Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Yep.
I guess I was thinking about Elon or Mark, but those answers has already probably been given here. So somebody else would give his orange peel to them.
Jimmy
But
Wales is the first time ever.
I I know that this guy is very receptive to good ideas. I know that he used to be a fan of Ayn Rand as well. But I was surprised to see some of his exchanges on Twitter to be anti-Bitcoin last year, and I was surprised. Oh, I thought this guy would be a Bitcoiner. I wish he could be. Uh, I love his attitude and his project, all Wikimedia Foundation, and he had some good ideas for various other platforms that, well, didn't succeed. So I think, yeah, I would give it to him. I admire the guy.
Yeah, nice choice, mate. Nice choice. And I'd love to see. I think it's fair to say Wikipedia is slowly becoming Wokepedia, and it's not what it used to be. I'd love to see it get back to being as based as it was. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I don't even visit it, right? Also, it also lost its significance. So probably today, Sam Altman would be more influential than Jimmy Wales. But giving it to Jimmy Wales 10 years ago would be a good move.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Sam Altman. Oh my god. Uh, the clue was in the surname with that guy, right? Alt, man. You know, here's
True. It's
here's my
like a
world
TV
coin. We're gonna
character.
scan your eyeballs, guys. Yeah, queue up.
I never
Goodness
thought
me.
of it too.
All right, mate. Well, let's make sure people can get their tickets or reach out if they want to get in touch with you for any reason. What's the best way to get in touch, and where should they go and find the tickets?
I go with It's Stomach K on Twitter, Telegram, elsewhere. ITS, It's Tomek as my name and K, double K at the end. But for the halving party, you can go to europeanhalvingparty.com and you can use Beaten for 12% discount.
Yes, that's right. Excellent. Nice shill.
Europeanhalvingparty.com. It's sorry.
No, you've saved me my job to shill the code bitten.
Oh yeah, man, you shill it so often. Thank you for that. You brought lots of art, and this will be your audience. So I'm happy that we will celebrate together with people that listen to us, the people that I listen to at your podcast. Thank you for bringing me in. I hope we'll have more time to discuss all other stuff live in Warsaw
Yeah,
in
100%.
1 week, 1.5 week.
Look at yeah, I know. We're only like 10 days out, so really looking forward to it. Gonna come across, have a few beers, hang with the plebs, enjoy block 840,000 and all of the
Watch some
films,
films.
and get to hang with Bitcoiners at the most one of the most important times of yeah, of our lives and of Bitcoin's young life. So
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. If you don't have plans for halving, if you don't want to stay at home watching mempool online, get your tickets to Warsaw. It's affordable and friendly city. As you can see, weather is nice today. Hopefully, it's gonna be nice the halving, and the block 840,000 is waiting for us.
and
We will be there.
they're cheap tickets. Like this isn't crazy. Do you want to explain that there's like three levels of ticket, right?
Yeah, the regular ticket is 84 euros. You can also access the event digitally because we're running a VOD platform for the film festival. So you could watch all the films, and even if you come in person, you all of the guys have access to the VOD platform that we're launching with all of the festival films and a few more. There is also a super pleb ticket, which is a form of support and also giving you some VIP perks. Looks like there will be no VIP party because there is no VIPs at our events. They're all plebs, so we are opening actually thanks to our sponsors and thanks to Alana Mediavilla and her sponsors. We will open the Friday cocktail for everyone, and same with movies. So for 84 euros, you can access not three as previously announced, but all of the movies. Uh, yeah, tickets are cheap because it's not a business for us. We are activists and doing this fun event. I guess we will be even on this event, and also we have quite nice few sponsors. So give them a look at our website. You can see under partners sections who are the great companies that support us, either with some cash or with sats or shout out. So thank you for them. Yeah, it's quite affordable because Warsaw is affordable, and yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
there's
Come on.
there's
Shill us the price of a beer in one of your favorite bars.
It's the price of a beer.
Yeah, what's the price of a beer?
Oh, it's like in a bar, maybe €4
Oh,
for a
come on,
pint.
guys. Like, this is crazy. Get your tickets. Get your
Yes,
tickets.
it's true.
I mean,
Yes,
especially if you live in and around Europe, I know there's very cheap flights to Poland from the UK. So get one of those budget airlines, use the code BITTEN, get yourself a ticket, come and hang. It's good. Like, there's no excuse.
there is few tickets still left, so go to European Halving Party. I hope to see you all, and hope to see you, Daniel, and your family. Very happy that you guys are shilling us and helping us with reaching out to these great people that listen to you.
All right. Well, we will come across, mate. Looking forward to it. And yeah, let's go. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.